So good evening, it's Carl Hinder from Salon Help and this week's Quick Coach TV. So as you should know by now, every Wednesday evening at 8:30 p.m. I run an hour of Quick Coach TV. So the idea is you can phone in 07931 518 642 if you've got any business problems. So any business problems in the hair and beauty industry, barbering, clinics, spa, any of that kind of area, I'm going to try and help you. So I'm going to run this for the rest of this year and it's designed to help you within 5 minutes. So if you've got something that's really kind of holding you up at the business, then give me a call, 07931 518 642. Now, we want it to be a proper business issue, staffing issues, pricing issues, recruitment issues, that sort of thing. Don't phone me up and ask me about the best colors or the best nail varnish. I really don't know, but I can help you with your business. So the idea is to make sure that you get an opportunity to phone in and get some of your business problems sorted out. And it's completely free, apart from maybe your phone call charge. And I don't know what that is, but I'm not charging you anything. Now, this will be recorded and it'll go out after the broadcast as well. It's due to go out every Wednesday evening and it's live 8:30 British summertime. So if you're in America or Australia, you still can find a way of catching this. And like I said, it'll go out on video straight afterwards. I'm not going to be able to answer all your messages as we go in because this is going out across 5 or 6 channels tonight. It's going across 4 Facebook channels. It's out on the YouTube channel and it's now out on the LinkedIn channel as well. So this is out every Wednesday night on 6 channels. And because they're all coming from different messages, I can't catch you all. But I promise I will reply to you all after the broadcast. If I do see some of your questions, then that's fantastic. I'll answer them. If I don't, look, phone in 07931 518 642 and I'll answer your questions. Now, if there's a lot of phone calls, I'm going to just give you 5 minutes. I'm going to cut you off because I want to try and help as many people as I can. That's the whole idea. So you also know that on a Monday, I broadcast, or actually I send out a free video, and that's also on information that you are requesting. That's all you got to do is click my email link, send me the information that you're looking for, and I'll put together a video for you. Now, the last few weeks, those videos have been on things like ordering systems and how to monitor your customer service. But they can be on anything. And so far, we've covered everything from how to sell a salon, how to do your pricing properly in your business. We've looked at recruitment and we look at any business issues that you've got. So if you want to phone in, I'm ready for you on 07931 518 642. Now, the broadcast, so this is broadcasted as Action Coach TV every Wednesday night at 8:30, and you can and otherwise I'll cover other issues whilst I'm waiting for you to phone in. Okay. Now, I don't want to turn it into some sort of consumer program, so it's meant to last an hour. If you're not phoning in after about 30 odd minutes, I'll wrap it up and move on to something else. Okay. So this is what we got. Quick Coach TV is now started. So we're going to start off with marketing. Now, salon marketing, I'm not going to spend the hour on it. Don't worry, there's way too much to cover. But some of the things that are coming up all the time. And one of the things that I'm kind of getting with the rent-a-chair sector in particular. So these are questions that have been put to me over the last week, but you see them on the forums as well. And these things are, how do I market for my rent-a-chair people? And the video this week actually covered all that. So you can go back onto my YouTube channel or my Facebook channel and you'll see that there's a video for it. But one of the things, or two of the things rather, that I wanted to cover. First of all, if you're a rent-a-chair, rent-a-room, rent-a-space person, a self-employed worker within someone else's business, really the question isn't how do I market as a rent-a-chair person? It's just simply how do I market my business? So marketing your business is the same if you rent a chair, rent a space, or if you own 10 salons. Okay, so you might not have the actual space of someone who's got 10 salons or a large spa, but you have the same obligations and the same rights to get marketing yourself. Okay, so make sure that you are marketing like a proper business. Don't have this misconception in your mind that rent a chair, rent a room is not like having your own business. It's exactly the same. It's what you do. Now, you've heard me say it 1,000 times. If you're renting a space, then you get to choose your own hours. You get to choose your own prices. You get to choose your own working hours. You get to choose your own uniform. You get to choose which products you're selling, etc., etc. And you also get to choose who are your clients. And those clients you choose through marketing. So you should have a marketing plan just like anyone else should have. So it's not just for the salon owners who should have a marketing plan, which I think should be about 12 months long. And if you've got big business ambitions, maybe it could be a bit longer, maybe 18 months. I don't see much point these days in going into 4-year plans because technology changes so quick and legislation changes quickly. And politics change your business as well. So I would probably go for a 12 to 18 month plan for whatever type of business you are. But it came back to this. Every time I was discussing this with someone, it came back to this. Now, this is particularly true of this rent-a-chair or lease type self-employed worker, but it's also true of some very, very small salons. Now, you could spend hours, maybe hundreds of hours, setting up your marketing plan, and you could spend just as much time implementing it and spend a lot of money on, getting it to work. The bit I don't understand is this. You go through all the effort and through all the energy of whatever it is you're doing, putting up social media plans, paying for paid ads, whether you're handing out leaflets or doing talks at local schools, and then when the client comes to you, you're not there. Okay, you've decided that you're going to move on, you're going to go home for dinner, you're going to go home for lunch or something like that, and when they turn up, you're shut. You decide, I'm going to stay in bed for an extra half an hour, or I'm going to go and watch my kids' school play, or whatever it is you're going to do. It's exactly the same when the phone rings. You can't say, I've got to stop, I can't stop doing this haircut to not answer the phone. Otherwise, it's pointless you marketing. Now, I understand if you're in the middle of a serious service, maybe, shaving or a skin treatment, it's very difficult to stop. And if that's an ongoing problem, you need to get yourself something like a virtual receptionist, or even better, a real receptionist. But what I'm saying is, what's the point of marketing if you're not going to be there, or if you're not going to answer the phone? Look, that doesn't make any sense, guys. And then what happens is in 6 months, a year, 2 years, you're either on the forums or you're in my inbox saying, yeah, I can't make any money. And you've had a history of not being there half the time. So you never go to a supermarket. If they say we're open from 9 till 8, they're open at 9 and they shut at 8. They don't maybe open about 9-ish, depending on the store manager, see if he's got a busy day or not, or whether he's gone to the golf. He's there or she's there at 9 and they're still there at 8 o'clock at night. They're there for the advertised hours. And the businesses that don't answer their phone are the businesses that are missing out. Because honestly, if I was phoning your barbershop, your salon, or your spa, maybe I wanted to book in something special, for my wife or something. If you don't answer the phone, I'm just off to the next bar. I'm not phoning back in 10 minutes or 15 minutes to try and help you out. Okay. And, that kind of purchase could be anything, couldn't it? You guys know, 150, 200 pounds, 250 pounds at that end of the market. So I don't know what you're doing. I don't know where your mind is, but you've got to be there. So I know for the self-employed workers, you can say, yeah, I can come and go as I want. And absolutely you can legally, but this is not about legal issues. This is about practicalities. There's a local barber to me, sent me a message this week. Hopefully you're even watching, but I won't say who your name is. And he said that he's looking for some staff because his current member of staff, who's not a member of staff, by the way, is a self-employed worker, doesn't come in. Okay, she's not reliable in the sense that she's exercising her right, I guess. So he can't have walk-in business. Well, he can overcome that because he can employ people, or he can change the rent-a-chair agreement to give them more incentive. But the fact is, that person is missing out. They are missing out on their percentage of the take-ins. They're not there. So all this marketing that the salon owner is doing is absolutely, completely wasted. So I'm just having to check you guys online just to see who's following us tonight, see if I got any messages coming through. So this won't take a moment. So it's 07931 518 642. Look, for me, get in here, ask me some questions. What do you need to know about? I can't believe that you've got a business coach. He's giving you free service here, and you guys have got no problems at all. Absolutely no problems at all. I think that's absolutely fantastic, because the forums and the website and my inbox don't say that at all. Okay? My actual inbox says, I got a lot of problems. Can you help me, Carl? Okay, well, it's great for me as a business coach, but I can't help everyone with everything. I can see Johnny Cox has joined me. Hi, Johnny. How are you, sir? I know you've had a busy time of recent, particularly with your retailing, and I'm going to touch on retailing shortly. So we haven't got many viewers at the moment on this one channel, but I can't tell you. It's across 6 tonight, so I couldn't tell you if we've got 3 or 300. What I would ask you to do is to make sure that you're following me. Make sure you hit the bell so that you get into this routine every Wednesday night. And what else I would ask you to do, please, whoever's watching tonight, and I'll ask you a few times, look, just share this. Please tell other hairdressers and owners and barbers that this service is available every Wednesday at 8:30, and you can phone in 07931 518 642. Hi, Nicola. Thanks for joining me. I can only see some of you on the one channel. I'm going to have to set something up so I can see all 6 channels at the same time. Okay, so look, on the marketing, that's all I'm saying is make sure that whatever you're doing, whatever you're investing your money in and then you're investing your time in, make sure that you are then in the business. If you're going to say, look, come to me, I'm the best at cutting, I'm the best at delivering these skin treatments, make sure you are there when the client needs you. And on that point as well, another discussion I had with someone this week, they're not on here yet, but I'm sure I'll see them in a minute. They asked me, what hours should I be working? And, the answer to that is find out from your customer. What hours do they want you? It's all very well doing, an 8 till 5 because it works for your lifestyle, or a 9 till 6 or whatever it is, but you need to find out about your area. There's a business not so far from where I live that opens at 6 o'clock in the morning. And they open at 6 in the morning because they have a factory which kicks out, I think, about 6-ish. So that's right for them. Now, I wouldn't say that would be right for many businesses at all. I went up to Brixton Academy last year, and there was a barbershop open 24 hours. So, you pick the hours, but it's got to be, if you want to maximize your business, this is. If you're interested in just pin money, having a few beers on the weekend, then look, do whatever you want. And I've told you lots of times, I'm not the coach for you if you just want to earn a few bob. If you want help with your business, if you want your business to grow, if you're trying to, secure financial freedom for you and your family, then I'm going to help you. So I'm going to try and help you here on a Wednesday night. I'm helping you on Mondays with free videos. Lots of you will know that I never, ever turn you away if you message me in the inbox, and I'll always help you for at least, a few messages or a couple of nights to try and get your problem sorted out. And then if you need me more after that, that's entirely up to you. Hi, Jack. Oh, I didn't see you in Barbers Connect. I don't know if I missed you or if you weren't there. Thanks for jumping on. Okay, so this isn't really the forum for me to kind of talk through everything. I'm just filling the space until one of you phones in, 07931 518 642. But I want it to be a business issue that you might want help with. Okay, I don't want to turn it into a chat show. I don't want to start, discussing the pros and cons of state registration or anything. Although we can do that if you want, if it's going to help you in some way. There's always going to be things in the news like the VAT this week. Is going to be interesting to see if Mr. Gove gets in and if it affects our industry, how it changes. But this is really for you. This is really for you guys who've got an issue in your business at the moment. Now, I understand that not everything on here can be discussed in public. So, feel free to inbox me afterwards, or I'll set this up private. We'll do a 15-minute private call because you might not want to share all your details. Hi, Nicola, Nikki Richardson. How are you, Nick? I know you're a busy lady and you've got a lot on at the moment as well. Okay, so on the marketing, I'm just going to finish off on marketing on one just little thing. Some of you have an opportunity. Some of you don't know what to do when you're marketing. And like I said, this is not a marketing show tonight. This is just simply to say that whatever marketing you do, it doesn't matter if it's social media or leaflets or posters, just make sure you're there. Make sure you're open and make sure that people can get in there. Okay, I'm going to come back to one of the messages shortly. But some of you are using leaflets and you always send me a message saying, Carl, they don't work. And you're only 50% right when it comes to leaflets. The reason your leaflets don't work is because the number one thing with the leaflets is you've got to work on massive volume. Okay, so there's no point saying, oh, I've done 200 leaflets and nobody came in. Because if you've done 200 leaflets, I wouldn't expect anybody to come in unless they're saying something like, I don't know, free bottle of champagne with every haircut or something ridiculous. Okay, so your first thing when you're doing leaflets is you must work on the volumes. So you're looking at something like about 1% return. So if you did that 200, you might have 2 people call you or turn up. Okay, so that's not a lot. And part of the reason for that is, first of all, they're going to the wrong people. I would really resist giving leaflets out to people in their letterboxes. You can do it if you're going to do that as a blanket, maybe for a year. Maybe you've got a new housing estate that you want to really, really smash for a couple of months. But the most powerful way you can get a leaflet out is to get it into someone's hand. Okay, so if you're in a big town or in a city and you've got the opportunity, either yourself or get someone out there, I mean, you've got to look how much your time is worth. You know what I mean? So if you can generate £200 an hour standing on the back of a chair, you don't want to be out delivering leaflets, do you, when you can get someone to do it for £20. But the point is, you need to get it into their hand, because it's that interaction that you're going to be able to tell them who you are. You're going to be able to say, there's my spa 200 yards down the road. This is the offer. Yeah, I'm the owner. Yes, I'm the number one technician, whatever. You need to get out there and you need to sell. So leaflets, if you're going to make them work, got to be in big numbers. They really need to be in someone's hand. And then lastly, they've got to be of some real potency. Hi, Steve. I noticed you were keeping an eye on me last week as well. They've got to be really kind of potent, okay? And when I say potent, what I mean is, let's say your cuts are £10 or £20. What's the point of doing 10% off? Okay, because I can tell you before that leaflet even goes out, nobody's coming in for 10% off a £10 haircut. £1, guys. A decent cup of coffee, what, £3, £3.50, £4? So you want me to break my loyalty with my local barber or my local spa for £1 or £2? Look, you've got to get real. Mostly you'll know that I'm not a big fan of actually discounting anyway, but if you are going to do pricing, it's going to have to be effective. It's going to have to be deep cut. What you really should be looking at is value. And value simply means that we give the client more than they're expecting. We give them more for their money. Because if we reduce a cut from £20 to £5, yes, they'll come in. When you put it back to £20, the clients, most of those clients, won't be able to afford the £20, so you've lost them. Whereas if you did a £20 haircut and you're giving away, I don't know, a free express shave, then they're still parting with the £20, so these people can afford that type of money. Okay, so that's it on marketing. I don't really want to do a marketing thing. We could spend the whole hour, maybe 5 hours on marketing, but whatever marketing you're doing, when you're finished, make sure that your shop is open on time, that it shuts on time, that you aren't turning people away, and that you're answering the phone. It's absolutely madness otherwise. All this energy, all this money, all this time, and you guys are turning them away. I just want to kind of just quickly check in case this is, it looks like it's important. Okay, so I'm going to read this out so that I don't miss any of this. So I'm not sure if you saw this earlier, but I will ask again here. No, I didn't see it, Matthew. Sorry, I don't know what it went on to. About sales products. Should I be charging more for products that will sit on my shelf longer, or should my higher markup be on fast moving items? Okay, so first of all, your fast moving items are always going to be the ones that the majority of your customers want, and that's why they're fast moving. There's no reason for your slower ones to be any more expensive, because you are going to have to just find the right solutions. You're going to have to find the right client for them, so to speak. If you're not selling much, it does make a lot of sense that you could put them up, but your pricing structure for products isn't going to be based on supply and demand, essentially. So what I would say is, if you've got slow selling products, the most important thing with them is to make sure that your stock holding is in smaller volumes. So if you've got a matte clay and you're doing 50 a week, then of course you want to have 100 in stock. And if you've got some sort of special pomade that you're doing 2 a week, then of course you only want 4 in stock. So I would say essentially it's more to do with the stock levels than it is with the price. Okay, so you don't need to increase the price on slow moving products. It's an interesting concept and it's something that you could do, but don't forget what you're trying to do is you're trying to find out what the customer needs. You're trying to give them the solution to their problem. Okay, so if the price then becomes a barrier, and if you've read my book, you know the price essentially isn't a barrier, but you might be starting to create an excuse if you start putting up your products at different prices. So I don't know if I answered that problem, that actually question for you, Matthew. So the answer is you don't need to have the slow products at a lower price necessarily. You just got to make sure that the stock levels are lower. That's what I would be doing. If you did put them up at a higher price, it's not going to make much difference, except of course you'll sell 1 or 2 a year and you make a little bit of money on them. And you just got to make sure that the customer needs that product. Okay, what else we got going on here? So the board is busy tonight. Okay, I can't even read some of these down the bottom, guys. So, okay, so people are in a nice chat as well. Right, okay, so let's go back to pricing. Unfortunately, I've been talking about this every week, and this might come across on products as well, Matthew, but the key thing on pricing that I'm having a problem trying to convey is that people are asking all the time, what's your product price? Okay, they're on a forum, they're in Germany, they go, how much are your cut and blow dries? Or they're in Birmingham, how much are your cut and blow dries? And then somebody in central London says to them they're £75. And the person who's put the message up already knows that they can't charge £75. And to be honest with you, it's an absolutely pointless question that is being asked all the time. Hi, Mark. How are you doing? Christian, great to have you on board. Thank you very much for joining me. This is every Wednesday night, 8:30, okay? It's called Quick Coach TV. You can phone in. Any questions about your business, a business problem. If you want to talk about an industry problem, we can, but this is really here to try and help individual salon owners. 07931 518 642. I'm ready to take a call if you want to call in. But on the pricing problem, it doesn't matter, first of all, what your peers are charging in other salons throughout the UK or throughout the world. I have no idea why you're asking that question. Makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. Hi, Mark. The thing that you've got to do when you set a price in, it has to be based, first of all, on the amount of money that it costs to run your business, plus your salary, plus your profit. Okay? That is what the price has got to come back to. So if your business costs nothing and your products cost nothing and you work for nothing, okay, I don't know, maybe you got some sort of fairy dust, I think I heard someone saying the other day, some magic formula, then you don't need to charge anything at all. Well, of course, that's not real, okay? So what's real is you've got water, electric, gas, rent, rates, mortgage. You probably got staff, you got colors, you got creams, you got products, okay? You got capes, you got foils, you've got electrolysis machines, you've got bank overdrafts, you've got accountants, you've got business coaches, you've got an absolute ton of overheads. Okay, then you've got your wage, what you're buying food out, you got to pay your home mortgage, all that sort of stuff. And you got to get it all together like this. Okay. And then you divide it by the amount of hours. Let's say that sum comes to £1,000. You've got to divide that by 12, say 12 months. That'll give you your monthly outgoings divided by 4 weeks, gives you weekly outgoings divided by 5 days, gives you how much you've got to generate every day, divided by your hours, and then divided by your minutes. And eventually you'll end up with this sum that says, I have to generate, I don't know, sorry, was bad English, 50p per minute. Let's say it's 50p per minute, so I make sure that my life is great, okay? So 50p per minute, means that if I've got an hour's service, I've got to charge a minimum of £30. There is nothing else. There's no emotion about it. It doesn't matter what the salon two doors away is charging, or what that woman in Bangladesh is charging. It doesn't matter, okay? You cannot charge anything less than £30. And the reason I'm getting a bit kind of passionate about this, look, this is a phoning thing, guys. 07931 518 642. If you think I'm wrong, phone in if you like. But I can't be wrong. It's a mathematical equation. You cannot be charging less than your overheads. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And if you are, you're going to be phoning me soon, or another coach, asking them to help you sort out your life and your business. Okay, so look, you don't need to phone me. I'm telling you what to do. Get your prices right. So 50p a minute just means that if I've got a 30-minute service, I've got to charge £15. Okay, so let's say I've got this 15-minute service, this 30-minute service. Imagine it's a men's cut, because this is easy maths. And it's got to be £15. If you're charging £10 for that men's cut, you lose £5. Now, the reason I wanted to bring this up is because I saw today, it was something to do with this, the over 75s with the BBC TV licensing. And people were saying, we need to do more for OAPs. And I'm not saying as society we don't, but I'm talking about us as, hairdressing professionals. We don't, okay? There's no point you doing an OAP cut for £10 if you have to generate 15. You're going to lose £5. And all of the emotion, all of the all the reasons that you might have, like they can't afford it, or I feel sorry for them. Well, that's absolutely hanky-dory, guys. That's fabulous. But it isn't going to get you into a profitable situation. Okay, and when you're on the verge of closing down, can't pay your VAT bill, thinking about calling me, whatever it is, have a think about all those OAP or anything that's reduced. Think about the kids' cuts, all the children's cuts that you are doing for 30 minutes, and you should be charging, say, the £15, and you're charging £5 or £6 or £7. Every kid that comes in is a loss to you. Now, I know you've got this thing in your mind that you want to, I want to hold on to all these kids for the future. I want this 5-year-old kid. I got to do him today. He's going to take me 6 hours. Maybe not 6 hours, but it's going to take you a long time, isn't it? They're all jumping around the place. They're screaming. And you are dedicating maybe 30 minutes for half the price. You do one of them a day, 2 of them a day. That's 10 a week. Okay, 40, 50 a month. Okay, 70, 80 a year. All of a sudden, you're £8,000 to £10,000 down, guys. All right, add that to your OAPs. Add it to whatever you want. Now, you have got to work out your prices. Okay, it's just all your overheads divided by all the time that you work. Okay, and it comes down to a minute calculation, and then that builds back into your price. There's a video already on my YouTube channel, which is a bit longer than this. That's like 12 minutes long. And if you want to talk to me about it for your specific business and send me spreadsheets and that sort of stuff, I've helped one young man out this week. More than happy to help you get your prices right. Whew, Matthew says he completely agrees. Your prices should be based on your costs. Yeah, don't worry about another shop. Don't compete on price. That's a good point. It's not a good point. It's absolutely the most important thing your business will ever have. Look, you cannot compete on price with another business, because another business can always undercut you. And you can't compete with another person on the service. When I say that, if you're doing eyebrows, or if you're doing nails, or if you're doing a haircut, somebody will be doing pretty much the same job down the road for the same or less money, okay? Not many clients can actually tell the difference between an absolutely amazing haircut and an average okay haircut, which looks fine. First of all, they can't tell. They don't know. They're not specialists. And most importantly, they don't even care. Okay, so you can't compete on the actual product service. The only place you can beat them is absolutely beat them to death on customer service. Okay, you got to beat them to death on customer service. And if you've read my book, and I'm not apologizing, guys, because if you haven't bought this yet, you need to kind of rethink, because this book, okay, Salon Products, Sell or Die Trying, isn't just about how to sell products. It's how to improve your customer service. So you've got to get to grips with customer service. Phew. Right, so anybody want to phone in? 07931 518 642. Oh, hello, Shauna and Dale. I'm doing well tonight. I'm here every Wednesday night, guys, okay? 8:30 BST. You can actually phone me, 07931 518 642. I got my phone right here, got my headphones on. I'm ready to take your call. Any issues you're having in the industries, in our industry, sorry. And it doesn't, if it's at the barbering end or the spa end, doesn't matter if it's a day spa, anything you want to talk about in our industry, I'm more than happy to help you right here tonight. So we got about half an hour at the moment. I might struggle to keep that going for another half an hour. I feel like an auctioneer, guys. I need someone to phone in, give me some help here. I got a nice cup of tea, so we're doing okay. Okay, so whilst I'm waiting, let's talk about this retailing, because Matthew's got a good point about how we should do retailing. Is absolutely essential. It's one of my kind of cornerstones to my business life, is retailing, which is why I wrote the book and which is why I've written the online course. And it's probably also one of my passions, because it's the one, that and pricing, to be honest with you, between retailing and pricing, that takes up about 50% of most of my client interactions. We have to sort those two out almost with every single client. And I dare say, I don't want to put myself out of work here, but if you go and sort your pricing out and you go and sort your retailing out, you're halfway to turning your business around, because that's what I'll come and do for you. I'm going to sort your pricing and your retailing out as part of the deal of developing your business. So you've got to get your prices absolutely right. And then on the retailing, now don't go switching off and diving off the board, guys. I'm watching the numbers. Retailing, you've got to get to grips with, okay? I'm not going to lecture you tonight too much, just a little bit, because you can buy the book and you can buy the online course. The online course is 35 modules, 14 hours. You can take your time on doing it. But you guys, some of you guys, most of you guys are turning away thousands and thousands and thousands. Literally, I'm not talking peanuts here. I'm talking, new houses and cars and different holidays just through your retailing. And I've heard someone saying, look, retailing is for paying your rent. Well, look at it that way if you want. You can take enough money that will pay your mortgage or your rent. Okay, it's a massive amount of money. And do you know why you're not selling? There's only one reason. It's in the book. And once you get to grips with this, you can sell. Okay. There's only one reason why you are not selling products in your business. That one reason, that was a deliberate pause, by the way. There's only one reason, and that's because of fear. You and your teams fear rejection from your client. Now, you've got to work on that fear. First of all, you've got to seek the fear. You've got to look for the fear, because if you avoid the fear of selling, then you'll always avoid selling. And all the time you're avoiding selling, you're avoiding giving the client good customer service. And I'll come to customer service in a moment. So all the time you are looking, you fear selling, you're going to never deliver great customer service. So you've got to seek fear. Next time that you sense fear, you've got to move forwards with the process of selling products to your clients. Now, I do use the word selling, okay, and I deliberately do that. I know there's lots of other words that I might use with you if I were in your salon with you. We got recommendation, we got selling, we got suggestion, we got retailing. Whatever you want to call it, this bit has to happen at the end. At the end of the transaction, this has to happen. I have to give you a product and you have to give me some money. We are selling, guys. Okay. Now, it's fear. Now, that doesn't mean that you blat out anything you can just to overcome your fear. But what it does mean is that once you realize, God, it's only because I'm so scared that I'm not selling, no other real genuine reason. I know you're going to say they haven't got money, I don't want to be pushy, whatever. Okay, it's all in the book. Those reasons are real to you, but they're not real in the world of retailing and selling. Once you start to approach this fear, you are going to be able to start selling. And the way you do it is by now starting to become educated. So you become highly educated about the product. You become highly knowledgeable about the product. You become highly knowledgeable about the client. You start to understand why the client is objecting. You get to start listening to the words they're using. Are they really objecting? You get to start watching their body language and see if they need this product and if you are servicing them in the best way. Okay, look, if you want me to come to your salon and do a retail course that's a bit like this, I'll come and do that. Meanwhile, get the book, get the online course. Honestly, it's actually cheapest chips at the moment. It's at £99 and the standard price is going to be $3.49. I know you haven't seen it because I haven't launched it, okay? But it's there. Just send me a message, you can have it. But it'll be $3.49 in a few months once I get to grips with really launching it. But look, I'm not trying to sell you this at the moment. So all I'm trying to say to you is, you guys have got problems, and the two things you're not sorting out are your pricing and your retailing, and I need you to go and do that. Okay? So, I'm not finishing yet. Anyone want to phone in? Hi, Ellie. Hey, I'm sorry we didn't manage to link up at Barber Connect. I don't know where you went, what happened, but I'm always around if you need me. Hi, David. How do you expand without tearing the team apart and spreading yourself too thin? Okay. I don't know, David, I don't know if you actually mean, I'm sorry if I'm missing any messages here. This is flowing quite a lot tonight. Thanks, Matthew. Matthew's gone. He's gone on his lunch. And Dale, thanks for the comments. That's great. So how do you expand without tearing the team apart and spreading yourself too thin? David, I think you're in the States, aren't you? So I'm not expecting you to phone in, but you can if you want. But anyone else, you can phone 07931 518 642. It's a phone-in show. Look, I got headphones on. This is not like what the other coaches are doing, guys. The other coaches are doing great live shows. You can message them and they got their own skills. But I'm trying to help you as directly and as quickly as I can. So let's get back to that. So what did David ask me now? David said, how do I expand without tearing the team apart? The only two questions the only bit I don't understand, David, is do you mean expand as in having more shops, or do you mean as in expand internally? Because I'll try and cover both as quickly as I can. First of all, it's not always the right thing to expand your shops. Having 2 shops, 3 shops, 4 shops, 5 shops, 10 shops isn't always the right thing for everyone. But if you're going to do that, if you're talking about expansion in that way, the way you stop tearing them apart is by creating a promotional structure. So you work for whatever a year and say, based on this appraisal, work on these skills. I'll get Carlin to train you, whatever it's going to be. We are going to develop you into the next salon manager. We're going to develop you into the next color director. We're going to develop you into the next salon trainer. We're going to develop you into the next product retail seller, trainer. We're going to develop, you get the picture, yeah? So everybody is working towards a promotive stance, particularly if you're opening more than one shop. Internally, the way you don't tear people apart. Okay, so I don't understand the tear apart part, but I hope I'm right on this. What I think you're saying is, when you have quick change, when you change your business quickly, especially if it's something like retailing, pricing, new services, that sort of stuff, then people find it difficult to come along at the speed that you need to go. Okay, so that in a sense can tear them apart because they don't feel as if they're up to it. They don't feel as if they can achieve. So it's important with this that you have it at both sides of this. Both sides of the balance of the spectrum, if you like, both ends of the spectrum, not the sides of the spectrum. So you have it in this way. The first thing you need to do if you're going to grow and expand and even have a healthy business is you must have goals, targets, and plans, okay? And then your team must all be moving towards those goals, targets, and plans. And all of the team must have financial and personal development goals and plans. So it'll be a sales target, it'll be a retailing target, but only as a customer service monitor. And there will be targets on their personal development. If someone says they want to be a color technician and they're currently only doing cut and blow dries, then of course you need to say to them, well, you need to get onto this color course. You go and organize it. Here's a budget of £400 or $500. You get them to come to the salon. So what you need to do is you've got two ends of the scale, if you like. That's better. Okay, two sides of the scale. The first one is you've got to put all that pressure on them to make sure that they've got goals and targets, that they've got aims, objectives, and you're all working to the same thing. So you've got a salon blueprint. Lots of you have heard me talking about blueprints, and if I've been to your salon and I'm just looking, no, he hasn't popped up yet, and we have a good laugh about this. We talk about blueprints all the time. It's your customer service charter. Make sure that you have this big program, if you like, of what your business means to you. Everything that should happen in your business has to be in this charter. What do you say to a customer when the door opens? Do you want to say, hi, good morning, madam? Do you want the handshake? Do you want the door held? When someone comes to the reception desk, what do you want to say? Do you want to take the coat first? All of those things. So first of all, David, you need to have everything in place that your team are working to, and you must have goals and targets and plans that everyone is working to. You must hold this team really, really, really accountable, and I'm talking about having a meeting absolutely every single week of your life and their life. Oh, sorry, David, you're in the UK. Even better. Well, you should have phoned in. Great, so we're on to the right subject, more shop. So the shop is, I'm on the right subject. So you've got to have all the goals and all the targets and your blueprint, your customer service standards and everything, all in writing. The whole team need to understand what those goals and targets are. And then you've got to monitor each individual person every single week. You've got to find the time, 15 minutes a week with every single person, making sure that they're moving towards that. Okay, you've heard of things like targets like 3.5, I think it's 4 times wage. You've got to sit down with them every week and make sure they're moving towards that. Now, that doesn't mean with a 3.5 or a 4 times target that we do it for 2 weeks and sack them. It just means that we must make sure we're moving towards it. The same with your retail target, 40% of clients. If they're on 10% now, let's get 11% next week. Anybody that was on your last week will have heard me saying about the dolphins. The dolphins, hang on. I might get one of those hats, with the old pipe. When they train a dolphin to jump out of the water over a rope, they don't hold the rope up in the air and then throw a fish in the air and hope it catches it. They put the rope on the bottom. They put the rope on the lowest level to start with. When the fish swims over it, when the dolphin swims over it, the fish might swim over it as well. When the dolphin swims over it, they higher it by a couple of inches. Okay, and then they get the dolphin to swim over again, and they throw in another fish until it gets to the top of the pool. And then they wait for the dolphin to jump over it. And when the dolphin jumps over it at the top of the pool, they give him another fish. And then when it's 5 foot high and 10 foot high and 20, you get the idea, yeah? So your team at this end must be monitored every week. They must have targets, they must have goals. And then we go to the other end of the spectrum, not the other way around. I call this end, I see you all doing this. There's loads of you out there. Hi, Michael. Thanks for joining me. Loads and loads and loads of you do the other end. You do, in Wales, we call it a cwtch. It's a hug. We do all the cwtching and kissing and loving. Okay, we're fantastic at it. We give them good pay rates. We give them plenty of time off. They have holidays whenever they want. They get bonuses. They get whatever discounts on products. They get to go to the Christmas parties. We pay for them to go to exhibitions. We pay for all their training. We get whatever, I don't know, GHD and colour houses coming in. We do all the kissing and hugging and God knows what. And then we wonder why. First, they don't perform. Secondly, first of all, they don't perform. And then secondly, why they abuse it. Okay. It's because you're not doing both. You've got to balance this out. And I always start off with the hard stuff because it's so difficult to change. They don't understand why you're changing your behavior. You know what I mean? If you're a really, really, really nice person, and I'm sure, well, in fact, everyone I work with is, but really nice salon owner, even just a nice person, and you're going along for 6 months going, hi, how you doing? Good morning. Oh, you're a bit late. It's okay. Don't worry. And then, Carl the coach gets on to you and he says, right, you got to have some targets. And then on Tuesday, you got him in. Right, what's going on? Okay, you didn't hit your target. You haven't hit your customer service. Why haven't you sold enough? They just haven't got a clue what's gone wrong with you. Okay, so now there's a personal conflict and now you don't have any synergy in your business. So you get your team, You start off with the goals, the targets. You get your blueprint. Everyone has to buy into where the business is going to. Okay, and you monitor that every week. Then we go down the other end and we do all the kisses and hugs. Okay, we make sure that there's maybe a commission structure in place, but maybe that's another call for another week because I'm not big on commissions. But there has to be incentives. There's got to be incentives for increasing sales. There's got to be incentives for doing a great job. There's got to be incentives for developing your training. One of my ex, I'm not sure if anyone's ever an ex client when you're a coach, but one of my post clients, if you like, did the way I got messages coming through, but I haven't got any phone calls. Okay. So that's how many messages we're getting. Okay. So, and he's had this person training for quite some time. And I think maybe about 3 months, and she hasn't made any progress at all. She's maybe only got, 1 or 2 cuts in. And now he's getting a bit, hot under the collar, trying to think, well, I haven't really pushed her. Now she's probably thinking he's lost his mind a bit. Day 1, give her a target. You got to have 5 models a week. Week 2, sit with her on that Tuesday morning and find out why she didn't have 5 models that week, or perhaps she had 5 models. Maybe she had 6 models. Okay. Then you can reward her. You can pat her on the back. You can say thank you. You could give her a small bonus and say, maybe it's £10, £20. So do all the targeting, drive them hard. At this end, you've got to put then all the incentives in place. Make sure that the team are working towards incentives. Now, let me tell you one thing about incentives. I've got to cover up Michael in a minute as well. With incentives, there's no point you, the salon owner, choosing them. The person that must choose the incentive is them. Okay? There's no point telling someone who hates the cold that their incentive for the next 3 months will be a skiing trip to, the French Pyrenees, because they'll hate going, and so they won't do any work for you. There's no point saying to someone, we're going to go out to, a posh, Chinese restaurant or something if everybody hates Chinese food. I know this sounds obvious. Yeah, Carl, I know that, but you don't know it. We tell them what the incentives are, and then we wonder why they don't work. You make incentives short because your energy is going to run out. If you're going to talk about, a big salon incentive, we're all going to, we're all going to go to Las Vegas, okay, for Christmas, and you start that in January. Trust me, by the time you get the end of March, you will be sick of your own voice. You'll be out of energy, okay? So if you're going to do that kind of thing, you better be prepared. So incentives have got to be put in place. Now, David, I don't know if that's answered any of your questions. The shop has got to have targets and goals, and everyone's got to be working towards the same thing, and you've got to be really boss-like, and you've got to hold them really, really accountable. Okay, it's tough. That's the bit that makes is the difference between the salons who are succeeding and the salons who are failing. Doesn't mean you've got to be mean or angry, just means you've got to be consistent. Then we go to the other end and we make sure that we got our staff welfare in place, because you can't keep these people if you haven't got staff welfare in place. Okay, so you do the hard one, move your way towards managing them with incentives and training and that sort of stuff. Okay. If you want to talk about it more, David, or anyone for that matter, you can just phone in 07931518642. Look, this is a phone in. I've got 12 more minutes. This is a phone in every Wednesday night, 8:30. I'll be here in the studio, and you can phone in 07931518642. Any subject in our industry, barbering, spas, beauty. We can talk about customer service. We can talk about staffing training. We can talk about appraisals. We can talk about finances, pricing, anything you want. Okay, as long as it's something that's in our industry. Now then, what's Michael got? Carl, do you really believe everyone works well with financial goals? If you mean financial goals in terms of commission, absolutely not. Okay. What you've got to do is you've got to decide with the person how important a financial level is to them. And you haven't necessarily got to ask them outright, like, tell me, but, use your brains, guys. If someone's come to you, and let's say, it doesn't matter if it's a gender or lady, but let's say they've got 2, 3, 4 children. Let's say they have got a mortgage. Let's say they've got a way to travel to your business. Now, if you were going to pay them £8 or £9 an hour, tell me what's going to be happening in 6 months. This member of staff is going to be looking for another job because they can't keep traveling, because they can't keep, supplying stuff for their kids, because they can't afford to go on that holiday that they see the boss going on. They can't afford the nice car that everyone else has got. Okay. So I don't know what that level is for everyone. All right. But not many people are happy being skint. In fact, I can't think of anyone who's happy being skint. All right, so you've got to get that level absolutely spot on. Hi, Bernice. Oh, thanks for joining me. I hope you're well, because I know you've been working hard with these exhibitions. Oh, hi, Danielle. I haven't seen you for ages. Okay, so financial reward. The answer is no, it is not the incentive everyone. And that's why I'm not very big on commissions. I'm very big on making sure, first of all, that the team members do what they need to do to make money for the business. That's the most important thing, first of all. They need to be paid a decent wage, and they need to have incentives. Now, sometimes it could be an incentive. You could do, hey, listen, guys, this week the first person to £1,000 gets £100 bonus. There's nothing wrong with the financial incentives. But there's not a lot of salons that have successful commission systems. And the reason they don't have successful commission systems is because it makes them compete. So if you've got a real mixed salon, let's say it's a hair, beauty, and let's say the stylists aren't specialists. Sometimes, I go to a branch and they'll have only people who do colors, okay? Only people who do massage. Well, that's fine. You can work it a bit better. But when your stylist is your cutter, your colorist, your stylist, and sometimes your receptionist, they don't want to do a man's cut for £10 or £15 or £20 when they know that there's a good chance that a cut and blow dry for £45 will walk in. And this destroys your customer service. Or you get two people where they walk in together and then you've got two members of staff competing. It's absolutely gross, guys. It's embarrassing when that situation happens. It can be managed. There's loads of ways of doing it. You can have priorities. They can do commission sharing. I understand all that. But essentially, people struggle with commissions because they're done in the wrong way. We usually put commissions too low. That's what we do. Okay, we put in commissions before they are 3.5 times limit. And that, which means that really, if you're doing a commission of 3 times, they're not really getting to their 3.5 times. They then got to get a 4.5 or 5 times because they're trying to catch up with this impossible commission all the time. And you're wondering why you're super busy, but you're not making any money. So I would say, to answer your question, do people work for finances? What was the actual terminology? Do you really believe everyone works well with financial goals? So if that means financial targets, financial monetary reward, then you've heard my answer. If you mean targets, Michael, everyone, yes. Every single person works fantastically with targets. Okay. If they're not, it's because you're not doing it properly. If you're giving someone a target, let's say you've got to hit £1,000 this week and they hit 200, and then you get them in the office and you give them a bollocking, then you've completely done it wrong. Okay. You've mismanaged the whole situation. Because before you can give them this £1,000 target, you've got to have the meeting and say, look, you've got to be there, otherwise you're not good to me as in the financial sense. But how do I help you get there? First of all, how do I help you? Secondly, what are you going to do to help yourself? And then you have this plan. So let's say I've got to get to £1,000, but I'm only at 200. Why are you only at 200, Carl? Well, I'm not really that good at doing top section foils. Okay, well, I tell you what, I'll get Charlotte, our trainer, to get you trained this week. I'll give you 2 weeks to catch up in terms of your speed and knowledge, or I'll bring in the color house to come and train you, okay? But I am expecting you to have grown this by then. Is there any reason why you don't think you can achieve that? Okay, no, there's not. Okay, so the training is in your hands. I want you to go off and do it. I'll see you back here next Tuesday, and I expect you to have made some progress, okay? That's why targets work. Because if she comes back next Tuesday and she says, oh, I'm not really bothered, or he says, oh, no, well, then you know that you're actually going to be heading in a different direction anyway and booting them down the street. And don't worry about that either, because if they're never, ever, ever going to get to 3.5 or 4 times their wage, they're never, ever, ever going to make you any money. And if they're only at twice their wage, then they're costing you money and you're better off without them. Okay, guys, it's 5 minutes to go. Michael, I think I misunderstood your question first time. I think I've got it second time. But the other one would have helped someone, I hope. Financial targets are essential. It's not whether they like them or not, or whether they work for other people. You make them work. There's not another business in this world that doesn't have a financial target. I've never worked with anyone or for anyone who has not got a financial target. If you haven't got a goal, how do you ever get there? You know, I don't think it's in the book, but I think I said it on one of my forums last week. You know, if two people agree to get married and they set a date, they turn up and they get married. If you just say, well, we'll get married sometime in the future, then of course you don't get married. Okay. I'm not saying that's good or bad. I'm just saying that's how goals work. Okay. So yes, they work for everyone. If they're not working for you as a salon owner, you're doing them wrong. You've got to keep pushing and your team to their financial contribution. It's a money game, guys. It's not a personality game. You're doing too much loving and you're not doing enough managing. Okay, what else we got? Oh, so we got some people down here. Hi, Jackie. Thanks for buzzing in. Oh, Oliver. Gosh. Have you got anything for the industry? You can phone me in. I got 2 minutes left. And, oh, Michael, thank you. Well answered. It's very difficult. I'd rather you phoned in. Look, you're all kind of quiet tonight. I don't know why. Please tune in every week. Look, this is Quick Coach TV. Carl Hinder, Salon Help. I'm going to be here every Wednesday night, 8:30 British summertime. Okay, so if you're in America or if you are in Australia, you can still catch me. It'll just be a bit earlier at lunchtime or in the morning. I'm here to help you with any questions that you have. I can do them on screen, but you know, all the coaches are doing on screen answering. I'm happy to do that as well. This is your chance to get phoned in and really kind of make it clear. Sometimes, as you know, when you're sending messages, you don't always see them. This is spread out over 6 broadcasts, over 6 platforms tonight, so I won't have seen all your messages, and I apologize if I haven't answered them. If you definitely want to get them answered in the future, make sure you phone in 07931 518 642. If there's something you want to talk about after this broadcast, please inbox me. I'll do my best to help you, as most of you know by now. If not, I will see you back here next Wednesday evening at 8:30 p.m. Thank you all for contributing, and I really enjoyed your company. Thanks very much.